Hi, I'm Barbara Seelig Brown, and this is Tom Byer. Welcome to Stress Free Cooking. We're a couple that loves to cook together, and we also love to make pizza. So today's show is going to be all about pizza. We're going to show you how to make pizza dough in the food processor. We'll make a roasted veggie pizza, and we'll make a sausage and mozzarella pizza for you. So let's get started, and I guess the first thing we have to do, Tom, is probably start cooking the sausage.
Sausage, yes.
Okay, so we'll turn the burner on, grab that sausage. And this is Italian sausage that we took out of the casing, and you just want to break it up into little pieces and saute it. So this sausage can cook while we're making our first batch of pizza dough.
Break it up.
Yeah, we're going to break it up a little bit. You can also cook it and then cut it up on a cutting board after it's cooked, but I like to break it up because it'll cook a little bit faster. And it is hard to break it up into really fine little pieces, but if you do cut it up into some pieces, at least it will cook a little faster. And then you can take it to a cutting board and once it's cooked and chop it with a knife. Okay, so that's good. Let me just wipe my hands real quick. And then we're gonna start to make a pizza dough in our food processor. And one thing that we like to do when we're cooking is get all of our ingredients out and ready to cook with. It's called mise en place. You don't really need to worry about fussy cooking terms, but it's just really helpful to get all your ingredients out and ready before you start the mixer, the food processor, or the stove. So we have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of sugar. Sugar feeds the yeast. And then we have 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. So I like to put that into my food processor with water that's between 110 and 120 degrees. And you can use your meat thermometer, candy thermometer, whatever you have to make sure that the water's at the right temperature. So now what we'll do is put the lid on the food processor, and we're going to slowly add the water to the food processor as it's running. I like to do this because I think it helps to dissolve the yeast, the sugar, and the salt. And also it just gives me a good base to start adding my flour. So we have about 1.5 cups of water in here. We're going to add about 4 cups of flour, but flour varies based on the moisture in the flour, how it's stored, what kind it is. So I'm going to start with 2 or 3 cups, run it through on the food processor, and the food processor has to be completely assembled to operate. Okay. So the food processor basically does all the work for me. It kneads the dough. And once this starts to come to a ball in my food processor, I let the processor run for a minute or 2. It kneads the dough, and then it's all ready to set to rise. How's the sausage coming?
It's coming along. Yes.
But not ready to be turned?
No.
All right, so we're gonna let this run for a second. I also add a little extra virgin olive oil to this. Tom, can you hand me the olive oil, please? Thank you. So just a little drizzle or 2, it helps brown the pizza dough. Let's take a peek. And I don't want it very sticky. It's still a little bit wet, so I'm going to add a little flour. And this is just about done. Okay, let's take a peek. Feels good. Okay, I'm going to run my food processor for another minute, and then we'll be taking this out of here and letting it rise. This should be ready. So we'll disassemble our food processor. And I have a bowl here that I put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in. And this is nice. It's not sticking to my hands. It's a great texture. I want to clean out the bowl a little bit more so I get all the goodness. And then I just like to smooth this over. Pizza dough should be as smooth as a baby's bottom. So this goes into our bowl with extra virgin olive oil. I turn it over. We're going to cover this and we're going to set this to rise anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 days. We happen to like a longer rise. We were in Italy and we were in a restaurant in Mantova that gave us a choice on our pizza, whether we had 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day rise. So we tried the 3 day rise, which was excellent there.
Right. It was more expensive. The pizza was more expensive the longer the rise was.
And it was really delicious, but we came home, of course, and we tried to create a 3 day rise on our pizza dough. But because our water is different, our flour is different, our yeast is probably different, we found that the 3 day rise made the pizza too dry. So our favorite is a 2 day rise. So we have pizza dough that we made ahead.
The 3 day rise was almost like a cracker, it turned out to be. It wasn't what we expected.
But you know, they may have started out with a moister dough too. So, okay, let me take this food processor away and we'll go on to the next step.
I think the sausage is done, it's ready.
Okay, great. So I guess you're gonna need to cut that up a little bit.
Okay.
So here's a spoon for you. I'll take this. Thank you. So we use a big chef's knife. Let the knife do the work for you. The bigger knife you can handle, the more the knife does the work. So don't be afraid of a big chef's knife. It'll actually be your friend. Okay, I'll take that pan from you if you want to just put it here. Thank you. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Cake Bread Cellars was founded in 1973 by Jack and Dolores Cake Bread. It's been famous for its warm, gracious hospitality and unmatched wines. They believe that life's occasions are elevated by good people, good food, and good wine, which flows through everything they do. Sharing these tenets and this journey with us not only brings great joy, but also gives motivation to always look to improve. They take great pride in sharing their family with our families. Oh wow, that is so delicious. I can really taste the floral. I have some peach notes in here.
Well balanced.
It's delicious. For more information about these wines, visit cakebread.com. Okay, so Tom's gonna let that sausage cool, and while that's cooling, I wanna grab my dough, and this recipe of dough is usually good for at least 2 pizzas, although sometimes we make 1 large pizza for adults, and we give little bits of dough to our little friends who like to make their own individual pizzas, right? So let's get this dough divided for you. And that way, once you're done with your sausage, this will be ready and waiting. Now, your dough always comes out different. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to work with than others. So you might need a rolling pin to help you roll the dough. If you would like your pizza a little thicker, you can probably just use your fingers. And you can use a sheet pan like this that's been sprinkled with extra virgin olive oil. We like to use these pizza screens. They give us a nice crispy dough on the bottom. So that's what we're going to be using today. You must have cooking hands.
I think I need, what, the Metallusa?
Mezzaluna. Mezzaluna means half moon. It's a tool that looks like a half moon and it has wooden handles on each end and you rock it back and forth. And it is a fun tool to work with. I don't have one here though. We also have a favorite restaurant in Colorado called Mezzaluna, and that's their logo, the little Mezzaluna tool. Okay, looks great. I'll take away the cutting board. Here's your rolling pin, here's your bench flour. Here you go. So we take a little flour, we sprinkle it on the counter. Okay. And then one of your dough. Great. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Good?
Yes.
You think it's a rolling pin day?
Let's see, give me a few minutes.
Okay. So you just work it gently with your hands. As I said, if you feel you can't get it as thin as you like it, sometimes the rolling pin will help. And if you do use the rolling pin, it's a great idea to take a little flour and rub it on the rolling pin. Now, if you like thicker pizza, as I said, you really don't need the rolling pin, but we tend to like our pizza a little thinner. The more toppings you put on the pizza, the heavier the dough becomes. So you get a much crisper dough if you put less toppings.
I'll try to roll this a little bit.
Okay. Looks good. And I also don't think pizza has to be perfectly round, do you?
No.
It looks more interesting actually, and more artisanal if it's an interesting shape. These things are fabulous because they make crispy pizza. However, they're a nightmare to clean.
They are.
I usually soak it and then you have to scrub it, but it's well worth it. Okay, I think you need some sauce. So you have your sauce, your cheese, and your sausage. What was it my father was complaining last week that he got a pizza that had too much crust?
Yes, the
They didn't
sauce
put
wasn't
enough
up
sauce?
to the edge or something like that.
And we like our pizza saucy. So it's your kitchen, make it the way you want.
The way you like it, exactly.
But we do have a lot of friends that love Tom's Pizza.
Tom's Pizza, all he does is assemble it. Barbara does all the work. I just take all the credit.
You're very good at it.
Okay.
Now your hands are your best kitchen tools, as long as they're clean. Now you could cook this sausage ahead. It could have been done yesterday. The dough was made yesterday. The sausage could have been cooked yesterday. You could slice the cheese, put it aside in your refrigerator, open your can of tomatoes. We're using crushed tomatoes. If we have lots of tomatoes in the summer, I'll make fresh tomato sauce, but I usually go through that very quickly. So sometimes for pizza, we use a can of high quality crushed tomatoes. Okay? Looks good. That looks really good. So this will go into a 500-degree convection oven or traditional, whatever you have, and it'll cook for maybe 10 minutes or so. And once the cheese bubbles, and you can let the cheese get as brown as you like, it depends how you like it. Do you like your cheese just gooey, or do you like it nice and browned? That's up to you. It's your kitchen, it's your pizza. This is fresh mozzarella. On our roasted vegetable pizza, we'll use some shredded mixed Italian blend of cheeses. fantastic.
Looks good.
Looks great. Smells really good too.
It does.
Okay, you're done? So let me put this in the oven for you, and then we'll move on to the roasted vegetable pizza. Okay, so let's get all the ingredients we need in keeping with our mise en place. Roasted vegetables, shredded cheese. We don't need sausage. So when you need your screen, just let me know, okay? That dough looks great. So this was our 2-day rise dough, but honestly, even if we had only risen this dough 2 hours, it would still give us a great pizza. But when you start really getting into cooking, you get fussy, right?
Yes.
And we're in winter season right now, but if it were summer, I'd have some fresh basil out on my balcony, and we'd run out there and grab some of that too.
Okay, I think we can put it on.
You ready for the screen? Okay. Here's your second screen. These are very inexpensive. They're about 12 bucks a piece. I like the shape. It almost looks like a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know anybody that would like that?
Your little granddaughters would love that.
Now, if you get any holes, just pinch it together. It'll be fine. So we're using our roasted vegetables, which we made earlier, but we're going to use some roasted eggplant, zucchini, yellow squash, onions, red pepper, green bell pepper, and it'll be a nice complement to the sausage pizza. So we can have a little bit of a veggie pizza and a little bit of sausage pizza. Do you want me to sprinkle these on for you?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so we'll sprinkle these veggies on. We don't want to layer this too heavily or the pizza dough won't really cook nicely. We have just the right amount of veggies. Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's nice when things work out like that, isn't it? Okay, let's see, do we have any holes on here? Okay, and here we go. Okay, so our veggies are on. We just need some shredded cheese. This is a blend of Italian cheeses. When I have a lot of cheese in the refrigerator that I don't think I'm going to be able to use up, what I do is I throw them all in my food processor with the shredding blade, and I make my own blend of Italian cheeses. You can also throw it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it, and you pull out a handful or two. You can put it on soup. You can use it for pizza, of course. Soup, stew, omelets, whatever you need. Okay, that looks great. I will put that in the oven.
Okay.
This one's a heavy one.
This one is a little bigger than the other one.
All righty. Let's give that about 10 or 15 minutes, and we're going to clean up, and we'll be right back. Cake Bread Cellars was founded in 1973 by Jack and Dolores Cake Bread. It's been famous for its warm, gracious hospitality and unmatched wines. They believe that life's occasions are elevated by good people, good food, and good wine, which flows through everything they do. Sharing these tenets and this journey with us not only brings great joy, but also gives motivation to always look to improve. They take great pride in sharing their family with our families. Oh wow, that is so delicious. I can really taste the floral. I have some peach notes in here.
Well balanced.
It's delicious. For more information about these wines, visit cakebread.com. We also like to have a salad with our pizza. So today I'm going to make a romaine and radicchio ribbon salad. So I'm going to cut some baby romaine leaves into thin ribbons. Nice green, crunchy. And then I'm going to take one of these beautiful radicchios. And isn't the color gorgeous? Oh, it's like a rose on my kitchen counter. It's just beautiful. Okay, so we'll cut this radicchio into ribbons. Add that to the romaine. And let's get another bit of color in there since we always talk about cooking with color. Okay, we'll get some of this. These radicchio, all these varieties are from Melissa's World Variety Produce, which you can find usually in your better grocery stores. Okay, that looks great. How do you like the colors in that, Tom?
It's pretty good.
Is it good? Do you want anything else in here? Maybe a little bit of this really dark one.
Okay.
Isn't that beautiful? These are my favorite colors, pinks, purples. Alrighty, so I think we have everything we need here. We just need to do a little bit of balsamic vinegar and some extra virgin olive oil and a pinch or two of salt. We'll toss this and we'll be good to go. It'll be delicious with our pizza. It'll be really pretty also. And I like to serve things like this on a white plate because all these colors will really show beautifully on a white plate. Pinch or two of our salt and pepper blend just to make it easy. It's a little shortcut, one less step. Instead of pinching the salt and then pinching the pepper, he's pinching them both at the same time. This is also nice. On one of the other shows, we added some orange to a radicchio salad. So you could also do that if you have some navel oranges in your house. And then you'll want to give that a little taste and make sure we adjusted those seasonings properly. So let's do that. Taste one. Taste this. Radicchio are a member of the bitter greens family, so I like the balsamic vinegar with it because balsamic is a little sweet. Tom, these pizzas look awesome.
They did come out terrific, don't they?
Yeah, I love the artisanal shape.
Yes.
So we're gonna,
Let's cut one of these here.
you should let your pizza rest a little bit before you cut it. It'll be a little easier to cut. Here, I'm gonna get out of the way. Okay. So while you're cutting the pizza, I'll plate a salad. Okay, let's put a little dark on top. Looks good. So let's put one slice of each on this plate.
Okay.
It is steaming hot.
It's hot, yeah. Probably could cool a little more before I cut it.
But since you have iron hands, we're good. Awesome. Oh, that looks great. I like how you put that on there. All right. While our pizza cools, let's try this cake bread Merlot. Look at that beautiful color.
It is nice.
It's one of my favorites, that deep, deep burgundy, purpley color.
It's very nice.
Oh, blackberry, really good berry flavors. I love this wine. It's lush, it's very rich.
It's delicious now, and it'll take up to 5 to 7 more years of aging in the bottle to increase the complexity.
Which would be awesome. I can't imagine this getting any better.
No, I can't imagine us not drinking it now.
Shall we give the pizza a try?
Sure.
I'll let you
Try
do
the
the
sausage.
honors.
Okay.
Good?
Fabulous.
I will try the veggie. That bottom crust is so crispy. That's why we love that pizza screen. It really makes that bottom crust crispy. I also used to use my grandmother's pizza pan that I put some olive oil in before I put the dough in, but this makes it even a little
I
crispier.
think so. This is a little crispy.
I'm Barbara Seelig Brown. This is Tom Beyer. We want to thank you very much for watching us today on Stress Free Cooking. We also hope you enjoy making our pizza. You can visit our Facebook page, Stress Free Cooking with host Barbara Seelig Brown. You can follow us on Instagram at Stress Free Cook. We really appreciate you watching. We wish you deliciousness, happiness, and health.